Hello, Taurus. Thank you very much for tuning into your general read. For the main part of the read, I'm using Witch's Tarot by Ellen Dugan. I keep moving it all over the place for some reason. And for the support of Oracle cards, Energy Oracle cards by Sandra Ann Taylor. Alright. Already shuffled. Let's go ahead and see what we have. The ending I do feel is good. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Okay. I feel like this may actually really work out to your benefit. When we're coming into this situation, especially if this hits with you, it already is what it is in the sense of you got the Two of Swords, the Hanged Man, and the Five of Pentacles. When you're like where this is seeming to be rooted in, it's like it feels like a situation actually that's kind of like it's just stagnating. It's not changing. It's not evolving. There's lack here. There's feeling like you're feeling ineffective is what I'm getting. It's not like you aren't making a decision. It's like it's partly you aren't making a decision, but you also can't make a decision in the sense of like when it comes to the situation itself, you really can't do anything, and you're not making a decision to leave it is what I'm getting. That's the Two of Swords. The Two of Swords is telling me you could leave it, but you're deciding, or you're resisting making that decision. The Hanged Man is telling me things can't really change right now. They're in this weird stagnant spot. But the Five of Pentacles is saying, hey, you know, this situation has got a lot of lack, and there's just you're feeling like you're really ineffective and you can't really do anything here. You're feeling like you're not having an effect. Now, I'm getting a lot of communication going on here from whoever or whatever you're dealing with. You got the Ace of Swords, and below that, in the environment, you have the Five of Swords, which that's the fruitless win there, the fruitless victory, another 5. Like, the energy or the people you're working with, it's just like things are just, I feel like this is why you're feeling ineffective. For every 2 things right, 2 things wrong take their place. So like it's almost like cleaning up a parking lot for snow. I don't know why we're doing this, but like you shovel out 2 spots and then, you know, something dumps more crap there, and then you gotta like, you're like, well, now I gotta dig that back out, and you get 4 out, then, you know, more snow comes in, and every time you go get ahead, you get behind. You just can't seem to get things going forward. Everything just seems to like double back around. Everything that goes good comes back as a bad. Nothing gets ahead. It's not like things are going backwards, but they're definitely not going forwards. It's just for every step forward, you take 1 step back. It just seems to be balancing that way. Nothing changes. Like if it was at least changing in the sense of like it was getting worse and worse, it would be a clear thing to like what you need to do. But that's not even happening. It's like for every step forward, you take 1 step back constantly. And I'm getting the temple path here with the Knight of Swords is like people are starting to say or talk that there's no fixing this. Like this is something that should be abandoned. And I'm getting the temple path with the Knight of Swords kind of like the conversations are going like this is as good as it gets. This is as good as it gets, and the whole situation needs to be scrapped and a whole new thing needs to be started. I don't know if you're invested in that thought, but I feel that going around. Okay. Now, I'm seeing things come forward, and I feel other people are starting to leave the situation. All tied up with the wheel is saying, especially when I see the Page of Cups here in the environment, I feel people are taking their out. They're taking their out, and I'm seeing that as the Page of Cups, kind of like they're finding something else, they're doing something else, they're going somewhere else, and they're like, it's not really the best, but it's better than what they're dealing with. And that's the wheel turning with the all tied up. Like, you're seeing this happen. There's nothing you can do to stop these people from leaving. You're tied up in the situation still, literally all tied up. But the wheel is turning, saying these other people, I feel other people are leaving before you are. And they're happier. It's not the best, but it's better than what they've been dealing with. And I see you up here at the top with the moon, kind of like, well, what am I doing here still? Like, it's kind of like you don't blame people for walking away. I see you looking at this kind of like you don't blame them for doing that, but you haven't really committed to that thought yourself. But now others have. Now that others have, you're really giving this some serious thought. Like, you know what? Maybe it's time for me to do my swan song too and get out of here. Maybe it's time for me to get out of Dodge. But you got to get comfortable with it. You got to think about it. You're really starting to seriously think about it when this happens. Where this is going to go, and I feel there's a space here saying it's up to you when this happens. But you got two cards. You got the Journey card and you got the Eight of Cups, like moving on from a situation, going somewhere else. And you got in the environment, you have the Six of Pentacles. I feel like you're going to give what you can to this situation. Give what you can to the situation. And I do see that you do have some invested here. To you, it's not completely bad. It's just monotonous and it doesn't seem to go anywhere. It's just like, for example, if you're getting paid like $15.50, you've been paid $15.50 for the last 5 years. That type deal. You know, I think, or if you've been getting more, it's like you've been getting like 50-cent raises. Maybe, not even. Like it's very minimal, or maybe not even that. Maybe like 25-cent raises. Things don't seem to be getting better. There could be other, like it doesn't have to be a business thing, granted. So take this with a grain of salt, however it's applying to your life. But basically, the situation just doesn't get any better than what it is. And I'm going back to that whole, I don't know why we're doing the work thing again, but we are. If you're getting a 50-cent raise every now and then, it's just covering the cost of living. You're really not getting ahead. It's just really minimal. And what I'm getting here is like, you're giving to the situation as much as you can. You're leaving on good terms is what this feels like. But you're definitely like, you're making that decision. I have to go somewhere else. To you, it's not that bad, but it's just, it's gone on long enough. You need to go somewhere where you can actually create a better life. Even if you start, 2 to 3 steps back from where you are now, by the time a few years pass, you'll be 5 steps ahead of where you are now. So it's worth it to you. It's like it's worth the investment to move somewhere else. It took you a lot to get there because it is out here a ways. You're not going to do it till you're comfortable. Can't say comfortable. Can't say it because you're not going to be completely comfortable when you do it. Okay, I get that. So that's why it's like tripping out of my mouth. You're going to kind of force yourself to do it because you're going to be like, you know what am I going to do? Spend 10 more years at this spot and just be as much as be just as unhappy then as I am now. Plus, looking back, like if I had only made a change at this point, I'd be so much farther ahead. So you're not completely comfortable. You're not completely comfortable. See, now I can say it. But I feel like you're rationalizing with yourself. I don't want to look back 10 years from now and be like, if I had only made the change, life would be so much better. So you're forcing yourself out of the nest. It's like you're kicking yourself out of the nest. Gotta go. Gotta do it. Don't want to look back with regret. Takes you a while to get there, but you do get there. I think we're there. All right, good. I'm going to wrap this up here. I hope that helps. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. Thank you.